What stupid myth do too many people believe? That if you put a frog in tepid water and slowly raise the temperature, the frog won't try to escape and save itself when the temp gets too high. Great for illustrating certain points, but completely untrue. It's true if you cut their brains out first, which is what the study that originated this myth did. How is this not just murdering frogs and then putting them in hot water? Like, where does the question pop up? If they'll try to escape, they're dead. Their brains were cut out. They have a CNS reflex that makes them jump out of boiling water even without a head. That's the point that was being made. That a frog with a brain can recognize being slow boiled, but a frog body without a brain can only recognize being quick boiled. Goldfish have short-term memory. Actually, goldfish can remember things up to a year. Fire sprinklers. They don't all go off by pulling a fire alarm. They're individually heat activated. Also, you really don't want whatever nasty shit that's been in them for years coming out. Yes, I started in facilities maintenance. Big buildings have water reserves for the sprinkler systems, concrete cisterns / tanks. Very few buildings I ever worked with drained / cleaned / rotated this water. Getting hit with the sprinkles was begging for Legionnaires or Staphylococcus. Bermuda Triangle. For any given same-sized sea area, there is statistically the same amount of missing ships and planes. And a surprising number of ships and planes that vanished in the triangle. Sank / crashed for perfectly understood reasons. Went missing for a few hours. Then were found perfectly safe and sound. Sank / crashed / went missing nowhere near the triangle, in one case in the Pacific. Never actually existed in the first place. That it takes 7 years to digest gum if you swallow it. So, 6 then. Actual truth is that you shit out a piece of gum within a day or two. In case anybody wanted to know, exit. Some gum will stay in a solid form and come out as a chunk. Some gum will dissolve and still go out through your butt. Spot reduction of fat. People think that doing sit-ups will burn fat around your belly area. But if I always put the weight on in my belly, shouldn't I always fucking lose it in my belly? Come on, life. Be reasonable. You get arthritis by cracking your knuckles. All it is just gas bubbles popping. Also, some guy did a long-term experiment, several decades I think, where he constantly cracked all knuckles in one hand and left the other one alone. After the experiment was over, they took x-rays and tests to find that both hands were practically identical in terms of condition. That must have taken so much self-control. Imagine the first cracks after the trial ended. Crack so good it'll give vets Vietnam flashbacks. You can suck venom out of a snake bite. Arthur Morgan could do it, and that's good enough for me. I ran into the same guy 3 times in a day once. I had to think that maybe he was getting bitten on purpose. I shot him the second time I bumped into him. Too many people believe that porcupines can shoot their quills when they actually have to jab you with their quills. Darn cartoons and their dramatic sneezes. Next, you're going to tell me that bees don't form a giant floating pitchfork before they come after me. It's more of a trident actually. Napoleon was short. He wasn't. He was 5'7", which was normal for the man of his time. I'm pretty sure he was actually slightly above average height back then. There was just a difference between French and English inches, and England just used it to make Napoleon seem weaker. That sugar cane grows faster on sand. Has Minecraft been lying to me all these years? Nope. It grows just as fast in Minecraft sand and dirt. Wait, you can grow it on dirt. It has to be next to water though. It's illegal to turn on lights in your car. It's the truth. Ask any dad. That if you're an organ donor, then doctors won't try hard to save you and might let you die. I'm a doctor. When I'm treating a patient, whether the patient is an organ donor or not never crosses my mind. I will genuinely have no idea, and even if I did, why would I want to sacrifice my patient for some random other patient across the country? Surely that would just make me look like a shit doctor, right? We all know the reality is that you just break into people's homes and harvest their organs like that Monty Python skit. And then when they present for a missing organ, you harvest another organ from a different sleeping donor. You won't get in trouble if you tell the truth. Edit. Yes, I know that morally, this is not the good option. But if you are in a sticky situation, and I bet you once did, you probably lied. What? You said you wouldn't get mad. Although nobody is going to scroll this far, there's actually a Wikipedia article just for this. List of common misconceptions. https://n wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_common_misconceptions. That people won't scroll this far. That human beings only use 10% of their brain. Good grief, I can't listen to people who say this is true. The worst thing is, my teacher in elementary school thinks that humans only use 15% of their brain. And the reason Albert Einstein, for example, was super smart is that he used about 30% of his brain. The biggest amount of bullshit I've ever heard. And the person saying it is a science teacher. A neurologist explained it as humans only use 10% of their brains the way a traffic light only uses 1/3 of its lights. We use all 100%. Just not all at once. We actually have evidence of what happens when we use 100% of our brains. It's a grand mal epileptic seizure. My arm's not broken. It's only fractured. It's the same thing. Source: I'm an X-ray tech. In my experience, it seems that most people think a fracture is when it's not broken the whole way, and broken means it's broken clean in half, or multiple pieces. In this case, I understand their intent. They simply don't know the right words. Still annoying though. They do mean the same thing. Yes, this exactly. It's a common misconception. But fractured equals broken no matter whether it's a crack or split completely in half. It's still fractured. The most annoying one to me is the idea that in America you pay the percent from your highest tax bracket on the whole of your income. I've heard people brag to me about how they know to clock out early on certain days so that they don't make enough to go up a tax bracket, as if you would make less money by making more money. I've heard of people literally turning down raises because they think they'll make more with their current salary. I wonder if the company offering them the raise feels a duty to explain to them that that's not how it works. I guess it's not their job to educate the employees on taxes. So who knows? Edit. Yes, it is true that in some situations, like very low income scenarios, where you are receiving government assistance like Medicaid, it may result in you losing that assistance if you get a pay increase. But taxes will not result in you making less as a result of a raise. That blood is blue in your veins, but turns red when exposed to the air. Total bullshit. Blood is always red. It just goes from dark crimson to bright, almost pink depending on how much oxygen is present in your blood. The blue color of your veins is just that, the color of the vein tissue, because of how light shifts as it passes through the skin. If someone persists, ask them what color the blood is when they have it drawn. Because it's not in contact with the air. Hint, it's red. Edit. Corrected statement regarding where the blue is coming from. In any event, the blood inside the arteries and veins is red. My high school science teacher taught that blood was blue, and no amount of arguing would change her mind. Thank God she's retired now and no longer misinforming kids. Shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. I wish this were true. I'd shave my head every night. Had very short hair my entire life, and now that I want to grow it out and do something with it, I find that I'm actually losing my hair. That myth is super bullshit. Snakes will chase you and bite you. Opossums have rabies. Pigs are dirty. There's tons of misinformation about animals. Here's a nifty little opossum fact. They almost never have rabies because they run to cold. Bonus fact. They will eat massive amounts of ticks and bugs. They look like mean rat cats, but they're really not. They're quite beneficial to keeping your home pest free. You don't need to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. If you sincerely think someone is missing, then report it. The faster that a missing person report is filed, the better chance there is that the person will be found. This is especially crucial when it comes to missing children. People think that if you ask an undercover cop is there an undercover cop, they have to tell the truth. An undercover cop does not have to reveal that they are a cop, even if the person asks. I don't think I've ever heard this outside of comedy movies. I'm not sure anyone actually believes this. I've seen enough to catch a predator to know people really believe that. Are you law enforcement? You seem like law enforcement. I happen to know law enforcement. I can't remember what episode he was from, but yeah, that guy in particular. Edit. I'm overjoyed that so many people appreciate the greatness that is to catch a predator. Higher octane fuel is better for your car. Unless it was designed for it, there is literally zero benefit. Lighter wallet. Car moves faster. I knew a lot of young adults who thought men had one less rib than women. Cause God stole it. Dude made a planet with life and shit, including a whole ass human, but needed said human's rib to make a woman. Like bruh, use your own.